nations increase their demands substantially. Free IP licensing, donating 10% of production to the World Health Organization, selling vaccine at reduced prices to developing nations. There's 3 or 4 more items that could be on that list, including putting a percentage of revenue in the hands of the World Health Organization to help it purchase vaccine on the open market on behalf of developing nations. Wealthy nations realized they needed to make some concession here, and the answer was, we will, each pharmaceutical company, in return for receiving the biological materials, will commit to some form of benefit sharing, but what counts as a benefit is a really long laundry list. The May resolution shortens the benefit list substantially, but it adopts the wealthy nation approach of picking off of a laundry list, but more than one item off the laundry list. So here, a manufacturer has to pick any 2 of these. Low-cost intellectual property licensing, could be donating or selling at low cost 5% of pandemic vaccine production. In each case, by the way, we're talking about either donating to the World Health Organization, who then who distributes it to developing nations, or selling directly to developing nations. There's an additional requirement if the manufacturer is not willing to donate or sell intellectual property licenses at a low cost. So this is the nature of the compromise. It's structured as wealthy nations wanted, but it shrinks the benefit list considerably, and it also requires taking on more than one commitment. A couple of things. Production capacity is something that over the evolution of these 4 years has really ramped up as an important benefit. I think everyone realizes that the pressure developed nations are under to retain any pandemic vaccine that they purchase is so great that the way to resolve that problem down the road is to increase production capacity, particularly in developing nations, and share intellectual property rights so as to allow developing nations the security of producing their own vaccine. We are well short of that, but I think that this displays the plan going forward. Surveillance capacity. One of the things I think we realized is that despite the international health regulations that developing nations are struggling with their surveillance capacity, there is great emphasis here in having the World Health Organization and wealthy nations support increasing the surveillance capacity in developing nations. And that is just to bring them up to standard with international health regulations. There's